Hey, it's Dr. Dare with 5 things that you should check if you have an elderly family member in a nursing home, a residential home, a nursing facility, an assisted living facility for elderly abuse. Because I don't know what it is these days, or it's probably always been happening, but it seems like the workers at these facilities are only there to collect the paycheck and not actually take care of the elderly member, and elderly people are put into those facilities for various reasons, and the expectation of the family member is that that caregiver is going to provide care, and respect the elderly, and um, make sure they're taken care of. And then number one is, if the caregiver is not allowing you in the facility, that is a red flag. You should have access to your family member, or if it's a friend of yours that's an elderly person in one of these facilities, you should always have access. There's standard hours, I get that. Maybe after a certain time you can't go in, but you should not be blocked from going in there. And that leads me to number two. If there is a change in your elderly family member or friend's behavior, like if they start to be withdrawn or isolated, or they just feel like they're not themselves, you can feel that gut feeling comes to you. Just pay attention to that. And that leads me to number three. Of course, this is the obvious. If there's any broken bones or bruises, or things that don't look right, and there's no excuses for them, and you see them on your elderly family member, and then check that out. And that leads me to number four. If there's a lot of emergency visits and broken bones and things like that, but the emergency visits are repetitive, there's a lot of them, you should start taking some examination of what's going on, and also take a look at their blood work to make sure that they're not being overly medicated or things like that. And that leads me to number five. Listen to them. If they're telling you something is wrong, don't just ignore it, because maybe you think they're not in their right minds or something else is going on, but don't ignore it. If you are experiencing this, or your elderly family member is experiencing this, and you have questions, you can easily call 911, or you can call APS, Adult Protective Services, or there's a website that I found. It's NAPSA website, and it's the National Adult Protective Services Association. Their number is 202-370-6292, and they're national. They can help you. All right.